Alright, so quick video going over really where the rest of the preseason videos went and why we didn't get them out. And because I scrapped a cruise control rant, really focusing on the Clash and a couple other things, just didn't like how it was going, didn't want to put that out there, just didn't like it. I did a Xfinity and Truck Series preview that I just did not like as well. I felt like it's just regurgitating information. I don't want to insult you guys, like I like to look, you're a very smart individual if you're listening to this, and I'm not going to talk down to you. I'm not going to regurgitate information that you most likely already know or that you could find very easily. I'm not adding anything. I'm not teaching you anything. I'm just, like I said, regurgitating information. I didn't like that a lot. And in terms of, writing articles, because I've done that in the past for like pre-season or series season previews, I've had notes related to them that I give out, and just it doesn't matter, man. Like, I understand why it's out there. You got to make content. You got to get content out there. And I've had a lot of fun going over like the Eric Almirola stuff. I've had fun looking at the Auto Club stuff. And I've done other things that aren't really like video worthy, but it's information and research that I do. But when I do it, I'm kind of just quiet. And so I haven't recorded that type of stuff. But I am excited for this season, but really want to put that out there because I did have a question related to, the Xfinity and Truck Series season-long preview things, and in the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't matter. Like, I don't see a reason. Like, for example, if I talk about the Truck Series and I talk about Zane Smith going to Front Row Motorsports in the 38, like I don't really have anything to add. We know where that car is. We know that Zane Smith is still going to be a contender. We saw Todd Gilliland be extremely good in that car last year. We saw that team win when they were cheating with Ryan Preece, and so I mean that's what we have to add. On top of that, we've had very little information in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, we've had Castle. Like a lot of the big teams have identified like who's racing for them, the situations there, but that doesn't matter. We already know where those big teams are. The news that matters is for smaller teams and where these teams are, and really all the news has been coming out the last like day and a half, 2 days. Like it's coming out so late that there's something going on, man. Like there's some trouble upriver if we're barely just now getting the kayaks back, and some kayaks are missing, the what are they even called? The people who ride in the kayaks. Like, people have drowned upriver, and we're kind of just barely getting news about that. Typically in years past, we've got information of where teams were and the plans that teams had right at the end of the season. Pretty much right as soon as Phoenix is over or Homestead was over in November, news was out there of, hey, so-and-so is going to be in this car. We have this sponsorship, yada, yada, yada. Hey, we're buying this old team's equipment. We're taking over this. We're buying this team out, yada, yada, yada. We get in December and more information will come out. We really didn't get that type of stuff. And the information that we did get was just it was a cluster. Way to end the year. We ended last year and started this year in controversy with how botched the LGB coin was with Brandon Brown and everything. That was like the only story for like the first week and a half of January. No other teams were really saying anything, like right now, Keen Parts sponsoring Ryan Ellis and Alpha Prime Racing for 6 events. Like, okay, why are we just coming out with this now? It's January 29th. Why is this news barely coming out? The season is here. February is here. Speaking of February being here, you can join the Patreon on February 1st and get all the sheets and everything for the month of February. Support me, support peers, support the channel. Make sure this channel we don't need any sponsors. I don't want to bring any sponsors in here. So please support the channel, support us. But anyway, look, the season is here. Why is all the news coming out right now? Why can't you guys talk about this stuff in January? Is it because this news does not exist in January? You don't have these partnership deals done in January? How are we getting these so late in the year? Like, there's so many things out there that if I was writing an article going like driver by driver for these two bottom feeder series, it would be a lot of blank stuff and just general, so-and-so is a decent driver. I expect, at least 8 top 30 finishes by this driver. I think it's a waste of time. I really do. And certainly for the Cup Series, there's no point in me making that type of content for the Cup Series. I'd much rather focus on some of the stuff that I've been doing and focusing on the videos that I do think are going to matter. And so this week coming out is going to be the Clash preview. My honest opinion, it's probably going to be more of a rant because I do see the Clash as a gimmick, but at least my overarching view of how to approach the Clash. There is going to be no live show on Sunday between the heat races and the main event. time frame is too small. I would really prefer, whenever I do live shows between post qualifying and the race, I normally like an hour and a half, 2 hours there. The time window is too small. I'd rather focus on the Patreon aspect because that is the priority, and I don't want to be goofing around with chat, looking at the live show, still doing Patreon. I want to focus on everybody supporting us through Patreon. And so first official live show this year is going to be for the duels. When that comes around, outside of that, it's just going to be a preview video probably on Tuesday or Wednesday for the Clash. Outside of that, I got a video coming out focusing on optimal lineups at super speedways, and really not focusing on the drivers, but illustrating my point of playing positions and building lineups that are pretty ugly. Obviously, still, I'm really high on back markers. I'm really high on bad drivers, but even outside of that point, we'll look back at probably, 15, 20 past optimal lineups at Talladega and Daytona, just to get an idea of what the lineup I think should look like more so than anything. And obviously, I think that more applies for all three series, but specifically for the Daytona 500, since I got that pretty big contest on DraftKings if you're choosing to play that. Outside of that, I'll probably have a video out focusing on the Daytona duels, because yet again, saved in the 11th hour. We were supposed to have 39 cars, 40 by the grace of God, and somehow we're going to have 42 drivers trying to make the Daytona 500. Those duels should have been nullified, made obsolete, should not have mattered. Hell, you should have been able to start and park those duels. We got saved at the 11th hour, so the duels kind of somewhat matter, because, man, if everybody was locked in, those are going to be absolutely terrible races. They're still going to be pretty boring with one guy going home in each duel, but man, shout out for MBM having that. Obviously there's rumors of NY Racing, the money team, coming out. Like, this is crazy. Like, how yet again, so how is this stuff coming out this late in January? Like, what is going on, man? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Something's going on, which is why the news has just been incredibly frustrating. Also, everybody's still focusing on NFL, despite the fact I think that season is just far too long. I haven't watched. Obviously, I have a Seahawks blanket right here. I'm a Cardinals fan. Didn't even watch the Cardinals play off. Didn't even watch their game. Knew they were going to lose. Didn't want to waste my time doing any of that type of stuff. But I think that has had another impact of NFL being so dominant. There's just been so little interest in focusing on the smaller teams and focusing on the smaller news for NASCAR that we just haven't had that type of stuff yet. Until like right now, like January 26th, 27th, 28th. Like, it's coming out so late, it doesn't really even matter at this point. We just got to focus on the races. And so that's where that is. I want to give a quick update of pretty much why there's been a lack of, I didn't put out nearly as much preseason content as I wanted to, just because I just didn't want to talk down to you guys like you guys are a bunch of idiots. It didn't make sense. And I don't think they would have been good videos. I'd rather just focus on the 3 videos that I'm making this weekend, looking forward to the races, and then obviously every week making a race preview video and then doing a live show, possibly even 2 race previews post qualifying for the Cup Series and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Just want to make this out there. And so yeah, February 1st, consider signing up for Patreon so you can get access to all the data we have for previous years and get a look at the sheets and everything this year. So yeah, just want to make this, and thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys in the Clash preview later this week. So see you then.